What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It's your guy, Kevin Spann, the insurance guru, coming to you live with a fresh new episode of Wind Down with Kev. This week, I'm so excited because my special guest is none other than, drum roll please, me. Guess what, y'all? I'll tell you the truth. The truth is always easier to remember. I forgot to book a guest this week, but I'm so committed to being consistent and bringing you a podcast every week on Wednesdays. I want to bring a new episode of Wind Down with Kev all the time. That today I decided just to test my skills at doing a monologue and just to talk to you directly myself and to be my own guest. Plus, there's so much going on that I need to talk about that I just wanted to start this conversation. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and kick it off. Excuse me. First and foremost, I have to take a minute to thank everybody for tuning in for season 5 of Wind Down with Kev. We are having a phenomenal season. Thank you all for hitting that notification button, for clicking subscribe, so you can get every episode that we post to YouTube and everywhere you listen to podcasts automatically. You don't have to search for it. I want it to pop up on your phone. I want that notification to come up so you know that we have another fresh, incredible episode for you. So before I get into this episode and start to talk about me, I want to thank everybody for being on this journey with me, and I want to thank all of my guests I've had this season. We kicked off this season in Atlanta, Georgia. We had 2 incredible guests. I started with the amazing Greg Gray, a internationally known speaker in the insurance industry, and my friend. Next, I brought you Mr. Justin Burns, CEO. If you don't know who he is, follow him now. Justin is a friend, a mentor, and a coach to me. I've been in his class for probably 6 months now, learning how to launch my online course. And I'll talk to you more about that at the end. But check out Justin Burns, CEO. He's somebody you need to know. You need to hear his information directly. I would be remiss if I tried to break it down at all myself. Next, we traveled a little bit. I brought you 3 of my classmates, 3 people that are in school with me every Thursday night, because they're also launching their own online courses. I brought you Aquania Escarnay out of the DMV area. She has an IG page, The Purpose of Money. Just check her out. Her real estate portfolio is something that you have to hear directly. We had Kawima Clifton. She's a phenomenal retired vet, but after coming out of the military, she has purpose in her life to help other veterans transition from a military to career into civilian life, and she's doing a wonderful job. So please check out that episode and follow her as well. Then we came back to the East Coast, and I brought you Angie Guzman. Angie is an interior designer. She's worked on some phenomenal projects right here in the tri-state area, New York City, Jersey, Connecticut. She helps people specifically with designing your space with Airbnbs. Angie Guzman, please check out that episode. Find her on social media and follow her as well. So after all that touring, a few weeks ago, I finally came home where I'm born and raised, Wyandanch, New York. And we had 2 amazing guests, my brother, my friend, Thurston O'Neill, and my sister, Tanya Crawford. So the Thurston O'Neill episode, amazing. This brother is well known in the music industry as a writer, very specifically the gospel music industry, but he's just transitioned from his career to launching his own business, O'Neill Therapy, where he is helping us have the mental health conversation. Health is wealth. It's not always easy to deal with everything the way the world is changing right now. So if you need to talk to somebody or just hear where Thurston is coming from, please check out that episode. Finally, I brought you one of the biggest and best community advocates I know. Miss Tanya Crawford. Another amazing episode. Not only we talk about Tanya's leadership as a community advocate, we also celebrate her beating cancer, being cancer free, and we announced that Tanya is now my COO as I get ready to launch my new business, the Kevin Spann Mentorship Value Program. But I'm going to get to more of that a little bit later in this episode. So, where do we kick this episode off? I like starting with recent things because it stays in my memory. My memory is not my greatest skill. So, when I'm authentic and I talk about what I've actually done, it's a little bit easier for me to podcast. So, with that being said, let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday, I did a book signing at Barnes and Noble. Thank you. Big shout out to Man in the Mirror, my brother Heath Broughton. He asked me to come do a book signing, and we had a brief conversation about a panel discussion. This book signing featured some hip hop authors, some major contributors to the hip hop culture. DMC of Run DMC. It featured Ralph McDaniels. A video music box for those of you that came home after school, watch video music box. Yes, that Ralph McDaniels, he was there. Also on the panel, we had Corey Pagese, once a robber, once a cop. Please follow him. This brother had an amazing story of kind of being saved by grace, growing up in the south side of Queens. Once, like many young men in that area, he was going to the left. Changed his life, joined the military, excuse me, became a New York City police officer, rose up in the ranks, but kept that sensitivity to other young men like him, helped navigate the culture, if you will, with fellow officers that may not be familiar with all of the components of hip hop culture, how people dress, how they style. And even though someone may have their pants sagging and walking and talking a certain way, it does not make them a criminal. So, Corey, absolutely amazing job. So that being said, I went just to do a book signing for my first book that made me a bestseller, The Property Insurance Bible, but it became something so much more. It became a panel discussion where we talked about the 50-year history of hip hop, everything that was celebrated in 2024. Had a chance to bring my lifelong friend and brother, Antar Lejean, onto it. And we talked about the first 5 or 6 years that wasn't celebrated. We talked about some things that was just left out because hip hop is not just music, it's a culture. And according to sociology classes that I took way back when in school, culture is a way of life. So it's music, it's the rapper, it's the DJ, it's the style of dress, it's the art that was associated with it, and all the lifestyles that was built around it. So I really, really enjoyed having that conversation, talking to so many people. Bookstore went from very light when I first got there to super crowded. So shout out to Barnes and Noble's a great job hosting us. Barnes and Noble Carl Place, my favorite bookstore that I love to go to. Never imagined that I would be there hosting a panel discussion or signing my own book. So that was kind of crazy, but it was fun. So that's being said, let's get into some things that I want to talk about today. I had a couple of dinners this week with a few fellow insurance agents, and one of the agents that I ate dinner with told me that he's seen me speak on stage before, and he thought I was wrong about something I said. So I want to get into the conversation, and in the comments, when you see this, I'd love to have your feedback. So I was given a presentation and two insurance agents encouraging them to step out there and really get more involved in social media. But on stage, I said that when I podcast, I never really talk about insurance. And he said that I was wrong. He said that I should talk more about insurance because there's so much that people need to learn. So I've been marinating over it and stewing over it for a couple of days, not because I'm dug in and because I think I'm right. I actually think that he is right. There's a lot happening in insurance right now, and I do owe you, the public, the consumer, more information and more conversation about what's happening, not in my agency, not with my company, not telling you all about insurance so you can call me for a quote or buy something from me. But I need to give you more information and education, especially now because there's a lot happening with insurance. And yeah, so you know exactly who I'm referring to. I will do that. I'm committed to giving more information. And I think the two platforms that I'm going to do it on is YouTube and TikTok. YouTube and TikTok. I like those platforms for content, for information, not for selling, but just education and awareness. There's a lot to be said about car insurance and what limits you should have and how to better protect your assets that you work so hard to get, whether that's your car, your home, your apartment. Maybe it's your small business that you're operating from home, your jewelry. Unlike me, if you have something nice and shiny that you like to wear on your arms, there's a lot more information that I should, and I must give to you. So I will. So thank you for that. I appreciate you. I love to learn. I'm a good listener. I can pick everything up. Although I talk a lot, although I write books, I am very far away from knowing everything. And I really feel like from the bottom of my heart that everybody is my teacher. I can learn from anybody and everybody at all times. So thank you for the push. I'll do that. But I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. What specifically, if I begin to create 30-second, 60-second videos around insurance topics, I want to do it for you. What do you want to hear about? Do you want to hear about car insurance? Do you want me to talk about home insurance? Quite honestly, my favorite subject to talk about in this space is life insurance. I wish I could talk publicly in this format about retirement insurance. Unfortunately, I have a Series 6 and Series 63 securities license, so I'm limited in what I can say in this format. Rightfully so, because those products, those investment products, those annuities, they should never be sold without a portfolio, without a product portfolio describing exactly what's good and bad, the risk that's involved. So therefore, in all my time on social media, I never have and never will talk about that much. But life insurance is a personal passion project of mine, of everything that I do or that my agency does. Definitely have to talk about my agency. Those are my favorite subjects, really life insurance and renters insurance, because they're not mandatory, but they're very affordable. It's what people need. And if you ever find yourself in a situation, you'll be glad that you have it. So, speaking of insurance, I can't continue this podcast without thanking my entire team, everybody A to Z. The only reason I'm able to do the variety of things that I can do all around and within the insurance space is because I have an amazing team that runs my agency. I have leaders, I have other people I'm developing as leaders. I have a wonderful hybrid team. I have about 5 people in my office. I have about 5 people that work remotely, and they all in their own right are incredible. So when you reach out to me about insurance, 9 times out of 10, now, Kev, tell the people the truth. 10 times out of 10, I'm going to introduce you to one of the amazing people on my team, and you're going to enjoy working with them. So, the way that I work with my team as the leader of licensed insurance professionals that help people with their insurance products, my first job every morning is to train with my team to make sure we're ready to handle all that comes with the day, everything that comes with it, whether that's new policies, well, whether that's helping customers with more discounts, higher deductibles, talking about the way insurance is changing right now with telematics, where you do not have to be rated just based on the zip code you live in. That was the case for many years. But now with telematics and certain devices, you can be rated just for you. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather my price be based on me than everybody that lives around me. I'm on these roads. I see how people drive. I don't want any part of them. And if you look around, if you stop at a stoplight and you look to your left and then to your right, I guarantee that the person on both sides is not looking at the road, which is what we all should be doing. So I would love to hear in the comments too what you see people doing while they're driving. And if you have any questions about your rates, That's it right there. That's the answer. Whether it's the phone, whether they're reading a newspaper, whether they're having breakfast, I don't know. People do all kinds of crazy things on the road. That leads to crazy accidents. That leads to crazy rates. So that's just the beginning of me kicking off talking more about insurance. But that being said, let me talk to you about what I'm really working on right now, really a passion project that I'm most excited on this Thursday, February 29th. I am giving birth to an idea that I've been working on for 2 years. 2 years I have been in the dungeon, in the den, in the basement, trying to carve out how can I do this? How can I bring more people into the insurance industry that's been nothing but amazing to me? The insurance industry is different. It's different. It's different. It's different. So let's laugh before I get serious. When I talk to people about the insurance industry, some people say that it's boring. That's funny to me. If you watch me on social media, everything that I do, whether you see me on the floor with the Brooklyn Nets, at the Garden with the Knicks, everything I do is only because of insurance. Nothing else. Nothing else. Every charity that I do, if you ever see me giving back to Relay for Life, the American Cancer Society, Wine Dance Day, the Kiwanis Club, anything I do, it's all because of insurance that's opened the door for me and allowed me and positioned me to give back to the community, to build a very large and insurance business. It's allowed me to hire people and it's allowed me to have fun while I'm doing it. So that being said, before this gray beard hangs up his insurance license, I want to get as many people into the insurance sales business as I can. Not to work for Kevin Spann, not to work for my company, but I want people to get into the insurance business. So on this Thursday, February 29th, leap day, leap year at 1 o'clock, I will be hosting a free live webinar. The live webinar is Insurance Secrets Unleashed: How to Launch a Six-Figure Insurance Career. Yes, you heard it right. Insurance Success Secrets Unleashed. I'm going to tell it all. I'm going to tell exactly how to break into this industry and not to just get in. I'm going to mentor, coach, and guide you through how to launch a six-figure career. And just like I've done in my career, the beauty of it is, yeah, money is nice, but I love the flexibility of time and I love helping people. My guy, Bo Vincent, Allstate insurance agent out of Ohio, he has a saying that I'll quote him here. He says, "We love insurance, but we love people more." And I'm built the same way. So I'm super excited. I think this class is going to be great for many, many people. Um, the world is changing. The world is changing. You know, we've gone from, historically speaking, from a rural farming economy to a manufacturing economy. I grew up on Long Island, New York. We were a big defense manufacturing economy. Everybody that I knew, we all had factory jobs growing up. And finding work was easy. If one of your friends had a job and that factory was growing, usually those factories made parts that went to planes. They helped the defense industry. So whether you were welding or painting or doing something, all of my friends had good factory jobs. They worked for major companies, major defense contractors like Grumman and Fairchild. Their parents worked for those companies. Everybody ate. But manufacturing not only left the area where I grew up, it's also left America. So that's one big change. Second, we've pivoted to the information age where most things are happening online. You remember things like what happened, all the fear we had around Y2K. But now we're in another transition with AI, and this is different. So a lot more to talk about that there, more than I want to include on this podcast or this monologue conversation. But I want to encourage a lot of people. I want to encourage people that's going through it. Maybe you're a little bit later in your career. I was 20 years into Allstate as an inside employee before I got into the sales side. Maybe you're fresh out of high school, right out of college. Maybe you never went to college and you don't have a degree and you don't think it's possible for you to have a six-figure career. I'm here to tell you that that's a false narrative. You'll be surprised. Maybe you're from a disenfranchised community where no one like you has ever been in this business before and no one's ever talked to you about it. That's what I'm here for. That's why you see the big mentor word painted on the back of my wall. I'm only here because I've been blessed to have incredible mentors along the way, people that taught me the business, they gave me insider information. My personal mentor still to this day, my friend, my brother, Danny Schindler, um, with 20 years experience, good people. When I had opened my insurance agency, although I had done very well in life insurance, I've been an operations manager and a sales leader. When I actually opened my business, I did not know half of what I knew. And if I didn't have his cell phone number to talk to him every day, going back and forth to work, I would not be where I'm in today. So thank you, Danny. Fast forward 17 years, having purchased five agencies and built a mega insurance agency, I want to invite people into this industry, not to work with me. You don't have to work for me. You don't have to work for my company. It's a big opportunity. So, enough about that. Please click on the link in my bio or my Kevin Spann underscore insurance guru page. Every day I'm doing a countdown to launch day. All you have to do is look at one of those posts, type the word live. You'll get all the information you need to register to sign up for it. Okay, so that's really what I wanted to talk about. I'm super excited about launching it. I thank all of you for tuning in to Wind Down with Kev. I thank you for sharing it. I thank you for subscribing to it. Thank you for notifying other people and telling other people about it. I can't believe where I'm sitting right at today, where I launched this 4 years ago. I can't believe that we're 5 seasons in. I think we're at about 50 episodes. And what I did initially is I did it in my mind in terms of seasons. I did 8 to 10 episodes, and then I took a break. Then I did 8 to 10 episodes, and then I took a break. Um, but right now, I think I'm going to follow the lead of a lot of podcasters that I'm listening to, and I think I'm going to keep going. I think I'm meeting enough interesting people with enough interesting topics to bring you consistent content every Wednesday. So I want you looking for Wind Down with Kev. I want your feedback. I want you to suggest some guests to me. I don't know everybody. I don't know everything. So some of my best guests have come from suggestions from others. So if you've watched Wind Down with Kev before and you could think of somebody that would be an amazing, dope guest, interesting conversation for me, please throw their name in the comments, in the chat, hit me up, DM me everywhere. I'm everywhere you are on social media. Let me know who they are, what they do, and why they'd be a great guest. And I'd love to have them because this is my first time flying solo. This is my first 23-minute monologue. I'm all talked out. It's time for me to go. Take care, and I will talk to you soon.